If K-Dot was 16 and he came out and we saw K-Dot with
I
an
see Kendrick at 16, he was whack and he did not deserve what he deserves now.
But if he did, but it's a different narrative. If he had got what he didn't deserve, you know what I'm saying?
I'd feel the same way.
Okay, but the entry point, right? But if we gave him time, if we give Lil Pump time to grow.
We didn't, dog. We gave him number 7. We didn't give him time. We just gave it right to him.
So I don't know if you guys heard this, but Lil Pump's Gucci Gang made the top 10 this week, number 7. We're talking about a record that is 2 minutes long, maybe 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
And literally says Gucci Gang 47 times. I literally counted it last night, and
Which
I was
is like
upset.
Half the song.
But it's 2 minutes and 4 seconds of slaps.
That's true.
That's subjective.
Is it a slap though? Is it really?
The beat goes hard. It is. His flow is right. He's in the pocket.
So my thing is, Lil Pump clearly comes from this group of SoundCloud rappers. I'm talking like a plethora, an ocean of rappers who sound exactly the same.
And don't use proper song structure to get their song across.
Right, and so you have this artist that comes from this SoundCloud genre who is above artists who have a little bit more artistic intention. A lot of people feel like this has ruined hip hop.
Hip hop, even like back in the day, has always been about being flashy, wearing jewelry, making up dances, and not just like, you know, when Sugar Hill Gang, you know, when the white record executives got to them, but even think about Heavy D. Think about people like that.
Yeah.
So it's always kind of been about being flashy and having little dances. Cameron. This isn't much different. And
not from the jump though. Not from the jump. That happened through the commercialization of hip hop. The foundation of hip hop was based on self-expression, lyricism, meaning, feeling something and actually expressing it through proper song structure
I'm gonna
and
say
creativity.
This, there's a special thing in hip hop where swagger jacking and sounding like every other artist used to be punished. It was a punishable offense. There was, I'm not a writer, I'm a biter, whole beef 10 years ago. And now through the birth of SoundCloud, or I guess the rise of SoundCloud, while it's brought us artists like Chance, it's brought us this ocean of like dudes that sound exactly the same. How was he a top 10? Why was it not one of the other 10,000 dudes from SoundCloud?
Well, I'll tell you why for Lil Pump is that right now it's a lot about not just about the music, it's also about the character they are. And so even early on, like before Pump blew up and it was like Smoke Purp was in the spotlight first, and I'd see the videos, Pump kind of looked more interesting to me. And if you look at his Instagram, it's just like this, it's like being a wrestling character. He just has it's like a reality, it's like he's his own, like, you know, he's like a reality show within itself.
It's gimmicks.
But then let's go off of that though.
To let someone like this, baby, like just totally smack everybody else in the face where you say Gucci Gang 50 times in the record and you make top 10? Well, like, what about everybody else? What about the core of hip hop?
Where does, like, something like Lil Pump, where does this really stem from? Lil B the Bass God. And I think when Lil B the Bass God came out.
Same way about him.
Oh my God.
No, but bro, we have to think about it though.
You gonna get him started.
When Lil B came out in 2010, I think hip hop needed it. It needed something that didn't take itself so seriously. And even Lil B influenced every rapper. Lil B influenced A$AP Rocky, influenced Danny Brown, influenced Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, but their brands aren't fully based on an imagery that's full of drugs.
Right.
These are 16-year-old people who, in SoundCloud, really has created this whole vibe.
That's what I agree with.
Yeah,
that drugs and Xanax and all of that is the primary focus.
Well,
some of your favorite artists have struggled with Xanax.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I think Chance had a Xanax problem.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of artists have.
But it's more low-key though. It's not all over the internet.
He admitted to. He admitted on a big record.
I think that what SoundCloud has done is created this accessibility.
It cuts out the middleman. It cuts out it just weeds out people that want a hand in your creativity. You see what I'm saying? Like back then, you had to have an A&R. You had to go through whatever. But literally, I can sit down in my room and be as creative as I want to be and be myself. That's what hip hop was founded on, right? That's a reflection of what the art is. And you see what I'm saying? You can't play both sides. This is what you champion about the culture.
Absolutely.
You have to go all the way with it.
Absolutely, and I'm 100% with you.
Right.
My question now is, what creativity? What about
individuality?
Him is creative? What about him is unique? What about him is new and innovative that doesn't sound
I'm
like
gonna tell you why.
all of his colleagues or everybody else in his little circle?
The art of not giving a is an art. Literally to go in there and literally not care about is literally, it's free form writing. To actually just go in there and just literally let everything flow. Some of your favorite rappers let things flow. Young Thug lets things flow. That's why things come out so unorthodox at times. That's what I appreciate about Lil Pump, or I actually appreciate that more about Smoke Purp than I do. I think Smoke Purp is
Lil
better.
Pump is the problem here in terms of top 10.
but like
Gucci Gang doesn't reflect what you're saying though.
Right, and that's what.
How is that just a free flowing kind of?
You think he wrote that?
Do I think he wrote this? I don't know. I can only judge off the product. But if he didn't write it, even more, it's like, okay, so actual intentional creativity. If he just went in there and blabbered for 2 minutes, then intentional creativity is not rewarded, and this is.
I'm gonna give y'all a homework task. Literally sit down in your room in a mic. Literally let the type of pockets he was tapping into, do not write it. Sit down and just literally spew it out.
Are you talking about cadence pockets?
I'm talking about.
I can do it right now.
Literally those pockets. Literally those pockets. Without punching in. I know you know what I'm talking about.
We're talking about a 3/4 triplet flow that everybody's been doing since Versace. It's the biggest takeover in hip hop. The dun 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 pause. Dun 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 pause.
But
Gucci gang,
there's variation in it.
Gucci gang. There's nothing. It's the triplet flow of the whole record.
You can't confuse the two records. You can't listen to Migos and be like, oh, is this Lil Pump?
No,
I've never done that.
You can clearly hear the devices that they're taking from each other.
But also, I think there's a lot of different sub genres of hip hop, and some hip hop you listen to for certain reasons. I'm an old school hip hop head too. I've been into hip hop since the '90s, and it's like some I listen to when I want to hear some lyrical content, and some you listen to when you just want to have fun and party and turn up, and that's what Lil Pump's purpose is. Like I just dropped that record over the weekend at a show that I did, and kids went crazy having a good ass time. That's what that's about. That's what that record's for.
It makes me feel lit at a party, but it's nothing I'll ever want to listen to on my own. I think that exact fact says something of the quality of the record.
Some records are meant to listen to in your bedroom. Some records are meant to listen to at the club.
And I won't knock Lil Pump, because the thing he can do is move a crowd. And honestly, that's something that I'll give credibility to an artist for, because that's something not everyone can do. So that's his sticker. I'll give him some stars for that.
You put a Logic record on in the club, no one's getting lit to that.
True, very true.
I just think SoundCloud rap is lazy. It takes minimal effort now. And honestly, when I think about Lil Pump in the booth, how long did it take him to come up with this?
But also,
he's just going off for
But to go back to where I think all this influence stems from, which is Lil B the bass guy, people say the same thing. We're like, oh, he's lazy, he can't rap. But then he did the Joe Budden's diss track, murdered him.
Right, and so in that, I respect that.
So let me see Lil Pump do that.
Maybe Lil Pump could rap for real. Y'all didn't think Lil B could rap?
Didn't on that record, I'll tell you that.
And neither did Lil B on Wonton Soup.
And I feel the same way about that one. If that would have made number 7, I'm like, what?
But Lil B started the wave in the culture, which is why I give him more props, because he did that and started it and created a movement on his own. Lil Pump is everyone's just following along. They're trailing behind. He's not a trailblazer.
Intention, bro.
That's the problem in hip hop. That's the problem in hip hop. We don't give people the chance to grow.
I will never, ever say that I don't give people the opportunity to grow. But it kind of frustrates me that people who have already grown are not even near these charts. People who have already gone through this weird ass lazy phase.
The charts aren't meant for real hip hop.
Come on,
it's not just real hip hop. I'm talking about, you take artists like Kendrick or anybody who's like that, who has a unique, I want to do something.
They deserve to be on the chart for that.
And they've already gone through this awkward phase that Lil Pump is in.
But even in hip hop,
why is he a millionaire?
Even hip hop in the '90s, did the conscious hip hop get on the charts?
I don't need him to be conscious. I need him to make me feel.
Did skilled hip hop get on the charts in the '90s, or was it stuff that was more fun, like Mace?
I do get that it gets it wild, but I don't get how we are rewarding such a broad group of people for sounding exactly the same.
I don't think
why
they all
can't
sound
we just
the same.
I mean, I think
about Ski Mask Slump God. That's
I
my
agree.
big
That's
argument.
the one I'll give
him
you.
And Wi-Fi's Funeral, and there's a few other artists from that.
And they're not put in the same category as Lil Pump? Hell yeah, they are.
Yeah, you got me there.
Because
they for sure are.
Because who are Lil Pump's contemporaries? When you think about Lil Pump, who do you think his contemporaries are? Ski Mask Slump God. Smoke Perp. Wi-Fi's Funeral.
Yeah. I guess I'm just
even Raider Clan to an extent.
I did Smoke Perp's first show ever. This first show he's ever done ever. I flew him out to LA. Lil Pump was there, and this is literally just last year. He didn't have colorful braids yet. He looked like a regular kid, didn't have all the tattoos. And he was just like a kid that was there with Smoke Perp. I didn't even know who he was at the time. Look at him, got the colorful braids, got the tattoos, became this little character.
And and
now it's like a reality show.
So I guess the part of hip hop that it ruined, you support it. It ruined that it rewards the artistic intention. And it doesn't reward the artistic intention, it rewards the image, the gimmick, I'm a dye my hair pink.
Image has always been.
No, image has always been a factor.
Why do you think his record is doing better than other SoundCloud rappers?
That's the big question mark that I'm like,
but you know, if you study the game, you know. You see what I'm saying? I know you know why it is. He's taking advantage of the scene, the culture, and if he does this over and over again, we're gonna have to change the debate in a conversation to say, okay, now you have a formula. You see what I'm saying? Now I think now you're gonna sit down and say like, okay, now this is interesting. I want to know how you're doing Gucci Gang 47 times. You come back in 2019, you come back another top 10. You see what I'm saying? Then it becomes more interesting. But we need to give them time to develop. We need to give them time to grow.
I feel like we're painting with a broad brush to say that SoundCloud ruined hip hop. But in my opinion, SoundCloud ruined a very important piece of hip hop, and that's just being unique and being different.